I knew because I always get what I want.
Yeah, see there? Eventually. That's a good thing to tack onto the end of that. Things are always working out for me. They're always working out for me. If I can know that I'm ready to be ready, and I don't take score that it's working out for me right now, this red hot minute, then I don't mess up the mojo, and it always comes along, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yes.
It always does. I want to just say this is my first time having any interaction with you. I'm here as a support to my girlfriend, and I'm super excited because I realize that I now can place the feelings or whatever that may be universe to the things that I really actually attract and that I want through what I assume is your teaching.
Yeah.
So like
yeah, I've always been connected to my inner being who knows what I'm hearing here today.
Right.
Yeah.
And not even knowing so.
Yeah.
Not even knowing so.
Right.
So like I guess I'm just thrilled to be able to realize that what we want and what we have, like you say, in our vortex is actually coming to become or to live in the place that we really create for ourselves.
And let's just take a moment to say that while there is satisfaction in aligning with energy, as the momentum is allowed to increase, the satisfaction factor increases too, doesn't it?
It does.
Because there's satisfaction in calmness and there's satisfaction in ecstasy. Which one do you like better? There's a place for both. And so Esther started saying to us, Abraham, I love the vortex. I love knowing it's there. I love knowing all the things that you've helped me to know. But I just want you to know, I like manifestations a lot.
I know.
And we said, the reason that you do is because you came to this leading edge time, space, reality in order to experience creation all the way out to full fruition, where you can experience the satisfaction through all of your physical senses. It's just more. When you're seeing it and hearing it and smelling it and tasting it and touching it, when everything that you are is involved in it, then it's more. And your inner being is coming forward to experience the more with you, you see. And so your satisfaction is our satisfaction. And you might even say, when you feel at your very best, it's because you're receiving the satisfaction that we're feeling. When source energy, when the energy that creates worlds is flowing through you and experiencing the satisfaction of whatever you're involved in, and your valve is wide open, all your receptors are open, and your satisfaction is at its highest, that's because we are all in this together.
Right. I guess it's amplified.
And you provided the physical environment where thought can be taken further. That's what we're saying. You matter so much to this delicious equation.
So I have only one question now, realizing like I said, that like things actually do truly happen because we want them to happen. And now being able to actually focus on that and realize that that's why the things in our life play out the way that they do play out, because we really want them.
We go along with that. But the reason the things in your life play out the way they do, wanted or unwanted, is because of your attention to them.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say right now. Realizing everything what you're saying right now without being able to...
Because here's the thing. Law of attraction is not an arbiter who says she wants that, but it's not good for her, so don't help her. And she wants that, but it is good for her, so help her. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So when you get a vibration going about anything and it's your point of attraction, it's going to come. But the reason that we've been talking with you the way we have today is because when you insert the guidance factor into this, and this is so important to understand, and you've got it, and you're going to hear it even more keenly right now. You sifted and sorted and came to a conclusion that your inner being agreed with, and so what you want is a done deal vibrationally. And that is a point of attraction. That vortex version of what you want and who you are is being responded to by law of attraction. So your true self is evolving in a really powerful way. Who you're letting yourself be right now, with the thoughts that you're thinking and law of attraction responding to it, might be in contest with each other. Who you really are, in other words, you are expansive and you are love and you are an uplifter and you are knowing and you are prosperous. That's who you really are. Well, if in this moment of time you feel shortage and you feel stingy and you feel angry at someone, law of attraction is responding to both aspects of you, and you are feeling emotionally the divergence or alignment. You follow that?
So the thing is, like, I'm really content, happy, everything manifested in my life, woman that I want to be, life that I want to have. But now realizing that actually we attract sometimes even the things that we really don't want in our life. How do you define and how do you actually, like, say yourself, okay, stop, I don't want to go there. I don't.
By the satisfaction factor. We've been saying this for years. 2 ways to know whether you're on the path that you intended. And by that we mean on the path that's going to be satisfying and more satisfying as it unfolds. 2 ways to know: how it feels as it's unfolding and how it feels once it gets there. So in the pre-manifestational phase, you can feel by whether your thoughts are satisfying to you. Hateful thoughts, protest thoughts, pushing against thoughts don't feel good. And the reason they don't feel good is because they're not leading you to where you want to be, and because your inner being isn't having any of those thoughts. But if you're oblivious to how you feel, so you're not adjusting your vibration, you're not meditating again, you're not trying to find something that feels better. Instead, you're just fully moving in the direction of it, and now it manifests into something unwanted. So how do you not do that? By paying attention to the way you feel and by not thinking about things you don't want. But that's tricky. When we say don't think about that thing you don't want, you're thinking about that thing you don't want. So you say, I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm not going to think about this thing, but you're thinking about it. I'm not going to think about it, but you are. You're thinking about it.
So how you get rid of that?
By thinking about something else.
Okay.
Or by taking a nap, or by going to sleep, or by meditating, or by choosing something that is always a positive thought and focusing upon that. That's why our analogy about being in love was so on point, because when you're in love, usually, this new love, that's usually what you want to think about. It's usually what you want to think about is you go to work and they say, come back to us, as you're daydreaming about something that feels better. Little do they know, if you could just stay in love, you'd be much better to them.
Awesome.
So did we get to the answer to your question?
We did, actually. We truly did, because I didn't know about the whole process of, like, putting the things in a vortex until I came here today. So now I realized that, like, everything that we do manifests in one way or another.
So let's punctuate that so that you really, really hear it. When did you do your creating? This is a question we're really asking you. What step are you when you are doing your actual creating? Step 1, because that's when you're asking. That's when you're sifting and sorting. That's when you're defining, I want this. And when you want it, it's done. Wrote a whole book about that. Ask and it is given. It's done. Then you say, where is it? It's in the vortex. Well, Abraham, that pretty much sucks because I can't see it over there in the vortex. But it's there and it's done. It's a vibrational reality. And so now you've already created it. It is created. The cooperative components have gathered it. Law of attraction has done its work. You got to be ready. You got to be in the receiving mode. So you've already created it. Now you got to receive what you've created. Don't you like knowing this?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
So now I know that motorcycle is coming, Sandra.
Never ending. Never ending.
Never ending.
And what you're about to experience, because you've been sensing all of this all along, now it's come from a place of, this is not completely accurate statement. We started to say it's moved from believing to knowing, but you actually had knowing that you couldn't define. You actually had knowing that your observations were supporting. So you've had this knowledge. That's why it's been working so well for you. But now there is nothing more satisfying than for you to sift and sort and find something that you care about and consciously acknowledge
Focus
that
on that.
you don't have to focus that much. Consciously acknowledge that you've put it into the vortex, and then know the difference day by day as you move along about whether you're working for it or against it. Because if you're trying too hard to make it come into fruition before you're ready for it, now you are creating an environment of futility and frustration for yourself. That's why we're using these words so much today. Get ready to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. And you're not ready for the manifestation all the way over here until you are. And when you are, oh, it feels so good. That's what Esther was talking about. Abraham, I just love it. Happy, 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 happy. But oh, when I start feeling that energy moving, she's wrapping. She's wrapping in readiness to something that she doesn't even know is coming. You see what we're getting at? In a kind of joy and ecstasy that was not explainable to herself. She just knew that she was on the bead of something. And then when that young man exploded into her world with his words, that that's what he's doing, and then she understood all of that momentum that had led up to that. Pretty nice.
Even rap makes sense then.
Pretty nice. Especially rapping. Not even rapping, especially rapping.
I agree. I agree.
That's not, don't want to wake Esther up. Different at the end. How are you? Extremely well.